So the lesson that I am videotaping is the first lesson, or the first 5 minutes of a lesson on the introduction of regular and irregular shapes. So what you'll see in this video is me introducing really the word regular, and then I think this video will go up to right about when I start talking about introducing the word irregular. This is definitely a vocabulary lesson, so you'll kind of see that in mostly what I'm doing. So let me go ahead and get started. Teacher face. So today we are going to talk about shapes. It's important to learn how to work with shapes because shapes are all around us. We encounter them out in the wild every single day. So the first step to being able to work with shapes is being able to name them. And we give shapes their names depending on the number of sides they have. So let's look at this shape. So this shape has 1, 2, 3 sides. This is a triangle. Now if I look at this shape also has 1, 2, 3 sides. This is also a triangle. Notice, however, these are both triangles, but they look different. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So if I look at this triangle and I take a ruler, I can measure the length of each side. And what I notice with this triangle is if I measure each side, this side has a length of 10 centimeters. This side also has a length of 10 centimeters. And this side also has a length of 10 centimeters. So this triangle has sides of equal length. Every side is the same length. Now we give shapes whose sides are equal length, we give them a special name. We call them regular shapes. We call this a regular triangle. And it's a regular triangle because it has shapes whose lengths are all equal. So let's say that all together. Everybody say it with me. Regular. And remember, regular is a shape whose sides are all equal in length. So we're going to say that together. So listen carefully. We're going to say regular, sides of equal length. Ready? Regular, sides of equal length. It's important to be able to categorize shapes this way because it's just another way to work with them. So what we are going to do is I'm going to give you each your own card, and on this card you are going to write the word. I'm going to give you a card, a blank one, and on that card you are going to write the word regular. You're going to write the word regular, and then when you flip it over, you're going to write a sentence using your word. Now, you're going to write a sentence using the word regular. Now, something I want to be clear about is think about, have you ever heard anybody use the word regular? Exactly. We hear people using the word regular all the time. So you might say, let's say for instance, you're at a restaurant and they have hamburgers. Now, they might have hamburgers with jalapenos and bacon on them. You might also have a hamburger with cheese and barbecue sauce and onion rings on it. There's all kinds of crazy things you can put on a hamburger or any kind of food. So when you go to order, you might say something like, I just want a regular hamburger, meaning you want a hamburger that is just plain. That is not the same definition as regular the way we're using it in math. We're talking about a very specific definition when we are talking about regular shapes or a regular triangle or a regular octagon or a regular pentagon in math. Regular in math is a shape who has sides of equal length. Sides of equal length. So when you are writing your sentence, you want to be sure that you are using the math definition because that's what we're working on today. So remember, regular is sides of equal length. That's the sentence that you're going to write. You're going to use a sentence, you're going to write the sentence using the word regular, but using the math definition. So you are going to get about a minute to write your sentence, and then we'll all share it together, and then we'll move on. So I would give the students the opportunity to write the word. Depending on my level of students, I might also choose to model, give a couple of modelings. That would probably be better, but it just depends on the group that I'm working with. And then after that, we would share out, and I would error correct and give any feedback. Or we might talk about, while students are reading out their sentences, I would ask the rest of the group to give a thumbs up if they agree that they used the correct math definition, or a thumbs down, and then we could work together in order to make it a more correct or a better sentence using our math definition. All right, so let me go ahead and start with the irregular. So to do irregular, teacher face. Those are some great sentences that we used using our math definition of the word regular. So we talked about a regular triangle, and remember, it doesn't have to be a triangle. Regular can describe any kind of shape. It just means that the shape has to have sides of equal length. So now let's talk about irregular shapes. So let's say that together, irregular. Beautiful. So if I look at our triangle, remember we know this is a triangle because it has 1, 2, 3 sides. An irregular shape is a shape whose sides are not equal length. That's all it means. So if I take my ruler here and I measure out each side, see this side is just about 11 inches. I can see that this side is shorter, but I can also measure it. I see it's just about 7 inches. So already I have two sides of different lengths. So that already tells me that this is an irregular shape. So I would go on and we would actually do basically just the same exact thing that we did with regular. Students would get their own card, we would write the word, and then we would make sentences. And again, this is just to increase their exposure to the word so we get really comfortable. And then we would move on to doing an independent practice where they're actually taking more than just a triangle and doing a triangle, a rectangle, a pentagon, and a hexagon. And then we'll be talking about regular and irregular, classifying them, and then drawing out an example. Since it's really difficult to draw out a regular shape, what I would use is I already have the regular shapes for them, so using our manipulatives, and then they can trace them, but that way they're having to discern like a regular and irregular shape using a manipulative, and then we can trace it. And again, just having this lesson would be really focused on getting the students comfortable with using the words irregular and regular, and also embedded within it is making sure that students really get that you have to count the sides, and that's what tells you the name of the shape. And again, just reinforcing that shapes, they don't have to look just like this. They can be all sorts of colors, and that doesn't change their name, it's the size. And that is the 5 minutes of my lesson. All right, you have a good day.